Good evening, old school Texas Tech. This will be my last video of the night. It's getting to be close to Grandpa's bedtime. I'm dedicating this episode of Old School Texas Tech YouTube, the night of 12/18 24, which I don't know if we remember dates for college football program history unless it's like, the Crabtree catch or a national championship for programs who have won national titles, or so we remember certain dates. I'm sure, some of the big rivalry games and stuff, but in the off season, do we remember dates? I think if we do, this might be a date that we look back as a turning point, possibly for Texas Tech. 12/18/24. I don't want to over dramatize it because we may miss on some of these guys, and I don't want to be over. I don't want to be overconfident, but it sure looks like we have completely changed our football team for the better, especially on defense and especially on the offensive line, and that could extend to other parts of the team as well. So I'm just going to tell you what I know as of tonight with the latest pickups and what I'm hearing about players that are very close to committing to Texas Tech, and also a really big target. This is actually getting some national press. That's deciding between Tech and Michigan, and he's actually from my hometown. But anyway, we landed two big defensive recruits tonight to go with Lee Hunter, who we landed apparently last night late after Grandpa's bedtime. But anyway, the first guy, cornerback Terrion Grant, 4 to 5 star recruit at Purdue. I think some people probably don't realize how good of a pickup this is for us because Purdue was so bad on defense this year. But keep in mind, he was a freshman. I believe he's a true freshman. I've heard his height anywhere from 6'2" to 6'4", and I've heard his weight anywhere from 190 to 200. The weight, obviously that's going to fluctuate, but the height, I'm not sure if he's closer to 6'2" or 6'4". I'm not sure yet. I'm sure we'll know more soon. We have obviously this guy. What I'm hearing from people. Some people are saying that he's an NFL first round talent. I think that's jumping the gun a little bit. Obviously, this is a really big pickup for us, and you're now looking at, I believe that is five. I believe that is five in the secondary. I, I'll have to do some. I'll have to look over my notes again, but I believe that's five in the secondary now. I think you've picked up four corners and a safety. Some of those guys might be able to play both positions, but I believe that's the fifth cornerback. I'm sorry, defensive back. We picked up four corners and then the safety from North Dakota State. So it's completely changed our secondary. Okay, so I think that's all I'm going to say on him right now. Just a huge pickup. He's got 3 years of eligibility left, whatever that means anymore. A lot of people are making a big deal about both these guys that we picked up tonight on the defense having years of eligibility left. I don't know if that matters anymore. We're just going to have to see how things play out. But this is definitely a guy who's going to come in and you're running out of starting spots. I think it's fair to say that we're going to be rotating our secondary quite a bit next year, like we always do. But we have seriously upgraded the secondary, no question about that. The second guy is another huge pickup, defensive tackle that played for Coach Shieldwood at Houston. He started every game this year, 6'2", 300 pounds. Just hear nothing but good things about him. Good teammate. He's got a relationship with Coach Wood. We've now added Anthony Holmes, Skylar Gill, Howard, and Lee Hunter to our defensive line. I mean, I don't. I mean, it kind of leaves you speechless at some point. I mean, that's it's just a total upgrade. Due to Banks, there's two guys that I think Tech's going to be concerned about. You know, hopefully they've already had conversations with them, but I know they really like Mo Horn in the secondary. I have a feeling they're going to try really hard to keep him. I haven't heard any kind of specific rumor of him leaving, but you gotta wonder what some of these guys are thinking. Due to Banks rotation going on the defensive line, and then I think what probably what I when I listen to other Texas Tech voices in the media, I think what I'm not hearing enough of is what this is gonna this quality of a defensive line, what it's going to do for Jacob Rodriguez and Ben Roberts. It's just going to be absolutely huge, in my opinion. They had to fend off blockers. They were getting very little support from the defensive line, especially that game up in Stillwater. I really noticed it. So I think we're underestimating the impact it's going to have, how much better it's going to make those two guys, and they're really at their a prime in their careers. Um, what else can be said? So Shieldwood adds depth, talent, and familiarity with these two guys. What's really starting to blow me away is the more I read and the more I'm following different media personalities and et cetera, is that it doesn't sound like we're at 14 now. Last time I saw, I don't put a whole lot of stock in the rankings, but it's interesting. You know, it has Tech second above LSU, above some really good programs. I mean, we didn't have as good a high school class because it was smaller this year, but Coach McGuire's had two really good high school classes already since he's been head coach. And then now this. What I'm hearing, it's really exciting, is a top edge rusher, Romello Height from Georgia Tech. I'm hearing we could hear his commitment any minute. It sounds like he's most likely coming to Texas Tech. It's not 100%, but his name is Romello Height, and apparently he is very good, and they're very excited about him. So that would be a huge pickup. I was wondering what was going on at running back, and I thought maybe we were just going to go with the two young guys. That does not seem like what's happening now. I'm now hearing Tech is pursuing Quentin Joyner. Actually, I heard he was on campus earlier tonight, so it's the night of December 18th. USC running back. I don't know a ton about him, but I hear he's pretty good. And then I'm also hearing Roman or Ramon. I think that's pronounced Roman Hemby out of Maryland. I'm hearing we could end up with one or both of those guys, which is just crazy. But I mean, with the type of offensive line that we put together, I can't blame them. I can't blame them for wanting to come play for Tech. Of course, I'm thrilled. And then the player that's from my hometown, I think he played for Ryan High School. I'm from Denton, Texas, in North Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex area. Ty Haywood. Read a really entertaining article. Maybe I'll try to find it and post it in the social media group. But Michigan, the University of Michigan, is just absolutely appalled that they are having to go against Texas Tech to try to land this guy. But apparently there's some strong mutual interest. I don't know if it's 50-50, but this guy's a huge recruit. So anyway, that's pretty much what I know tonight. I expect news on one or both of those running backs and the edge rusher pretty soon. The edge rusher, maybe even tonight. Romello Height from Georgia Tech, Quentin Joyner from USC, Roman Hamby from Maryland, and then maybe a little bit of a long shot, but not that much of a long shot, and Ty Haywood from Denton. Anyway, this is obviously just a continuation of a remarkable portal transfer class. I'll keep you guys updated as best I can. I am going to bed. Grandpa's going to bed, and I will do my best to keep everybody updated tomorrow. I expect tomorrow to be maybe not quite as eventful today, but close. Anyway, it's a great time to be a Tech fan. I'm trying not to get too overconfident or cocky or anything like that. But I think a lot of I expected my expectations this year for the regular season was like an 8 or 9 win regular season this year, and Coach McGuire's third season. With this type of investment, I mean, you're looking at, some people are saying this might be at least on paper one of the best defenses in Tech history. With this type of investment, the expectation next year, I mean, I don't see how it's anything less than 10 wins. Now, I mean, there's a lot that can happen between now and then. The transfer portal is going to open back up. Do we lose a lot of guys? And, is there some attrition with some of the younger guys? It's going to hurt. I don't know the answers to all those things, but you do not make this kind of investment. And coaches, stealing a coach from another Big 12 program, picking up one of the hottest offensive coordinator coaches, one of the most sought after offensive coordinators in the country. You do not do all of that if you do not expect to win 10 or more regular season games next year, in my opinion. So tell me what you think. There will likely be more news very soon. All the best.